I'm up first. All right. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Again, my name's Angelique with Moxie Manifest. We're actually a business strategy firm. Marketing is a part of what we do. We really like to take a comprehensive look at our clients' companies and put together a strategic plan that's going to marry their vision with the execution behind moving their business forward. But I was really excited today to have the opportunity to talk about some of the marketing that we teach on, and really thought of today's presentation as kind of like a small biz starter pack. Full transparency, I could talk to you about marketing all day long. But what we're going to do today is really focus on brand voice, creating some consistency behind the messaging and what you're marketing, creating an audience, and then content that converts, giving you guys some tools that will help make that a little bit easier. So to clarify your brand messaging, I like to start here because honestly, without consistent messaging, your marketing dollars won't convert, right? So I would rather you be profitable than popular, okay? So that's an important thing to think about whenever we're creating our brand messaging. So you want to focus on who you help and be specific. Here's a good example of that. We could say, I help women in business, or I help parents in business. But the truth is, if your business was maybe helping moms explore sleep training for their infants who maybe they're a first-time mom, by really clarifying that messaging and saying moms with newborns struggling to get to sleep, see how that's much more clear than just saying like, I help moms or I help parents. Another example on the creative piece is saying creatives who want a professional looking brand photos. I gave you all this cool little companion guide for today. You're welcome to make notes on it, and I think that this will really give you a worksheet to take home and dive a little bit deeper into your brand messaging. You can explore some different prompts. Like for example, I help a specific audience who is struggling with a specific problem get a specific outcome. It sounds really simple, but a formula like that can be extremely powerful. And then the consistency piece of who you help leads to what you do. You want to be really mindful of remembering that what you do is not your job title. What you do is what people hire you for or can buy from you. So an example of that, instead of saying I'm a coach, you could say I help burnt out founders get back their time and energy through one-on-one strategy sessions. And then of course, you are the most unique thing about your business. So a part of your foundational brand messaging, it's important to highlight why you're different. What's your secret sauce? What's your vibe, your process, your audience, or your lived experience? Ask yourself, why do I love work? Why do people love working with me? Or what do I do differently from others in my space? If I had a quarter for every time a client hired us, just because they liked Moxie's energy, that's something that we do differently and is a part of our brand messaging. So once you have your messaging locked in, it's really important to find your audience. The platform I wanted to tackle today was Instagram for a few reasons. It's free. You don't get that a lot anymore. And you can experiment. The cool thing about starting with Instagram is you can evolve your messaging on Instagram and then tie what's working from an engagement perspective back into more static platforms like your website, for example. It helps build trust before the sale. You are a real human. You are who these people exploring your services are going to work with. And building that trust is a really important part of building your audience. Instagram is also a really powerful visual portfolio. That can be a little intimidating sometimes. Not all of us, myself included, are super comfortable getting on camera and talking about what we do, but there are really creative ways to leverage that visual portfolio that don't always require you to show up and show face. I encourage you, if you have friends in your life who are gonna make you do the hard thing and get behind the camera and talk about your business, loop them in and have them help you create content, but you can also showcase like your product. You can showcase before and afters, thinking about your business with the window treatments. Like that is a really powerful way to show how getting new window treatments can make your space look brand new. You can choose to be on or off camera in a post like that, and it's very powerful. I like talking about Instagram as it's free. I will caveat, of course, we can pay for ads on Instagram. I believe starting with organic content is very powerful. We start with organic content and then we explore the paid option. So building that audience is really, it's pretty cool that you can do that still at no charge. Number 4, it's where people look you up. I think anybody, a millennial or older, struggles with that. I look on Google. I don't search on social media, but I promise you there is a very powerful client base that is looking on social media. And even for the people who start with Google, oftentimes they will turn into an audience member on your social media profiles, and that's where you have the opportunity to really leverage them again for future sales or leverage their network. So it's where people look you up. It's built for connection, not just promotion. Social media is still social. You have the opportunity to engage with your audience through comments, through DMs, through resharing your stories. You can get really creative and have promotions on social media where you're doing giveaways. And it's really, if people are excited for your product, it's really cool how they will promote your product for you on social media. Has anybody here been to the Wondering Cup? Okay, so they have sleeves that they put on their coffee cups and they write a quote on that sleeve. Yes, you remember. That is my favorite thing. I follow the Wondering Cup's social media. People are so excited to post their coffee cup because the Wandering Cup goes one step further and hand writes that quote. So that's a way that you can really curate connection. And it becomes organic, the promotion of your product. And that's how it drives sales without feeling salesy. So the too long didn't read. Instagram gives you visibility, credibility, and community, all for free. If you show up consistently with value, your audience will grow, and so will your sales. Applying your foundational messaging. This application of your foundational messaging, we're going to use Instagram as the platform, but I want you guys to think bigger. I want you to think about what the homepage of your website looks like. I want you to think about how you introduce your business to the people in the room that you shake hands with. This foundational messaging should be consistent and comfortable for you across all platforms. So you're going to choose 3 to 5 content pillars that really reflect your brand. And these content pillars are different for everyone because the way that your brand adds value is different. So as a coach, one-on-one, your way of adding value, I imagine one of your content pillars would be motivational, right? And then for you, I'm going to use blinds as an example again. One of your content pillars could be the value that you add aesthetically to the space that you're in. One thing that I want to point out that I think is really cool, out of all of the examples that I listed, really only one of those content pillars promotes, launches, and sells. The truth is, on social platforms, you really need to be focused on educating and focused on value add. How can I help people? If people are getting value from your profile and they feel fulfilled by the content that you're creating, generating a sale with you is going to be a no-brainer. So that is really powerful. Yes, you could still use it to sell. I encourage you to still use it to sell, but I just want to remind you it's only a piece of those content pillars. So educational, behind the scenes is really fun. Bloopers are also really fun. And that's where you get to bring in some of your personality. Is your professional personality very serious? If yes, that's great. You will have an audience. If your professional personality is goofy and fun and silly, you will have an audience. So defining what that looks like for you through these content pillars. Client stories and testimonials are wildly powerful. your personal story. And that's easier when you're a small business and you have maybe a team of 2, 3, 4, or 5. It gets a little harder to have that individual personality behind a profile as your company grows, but that's when you need to start exploring the personality of your company as a whole. Promotions and launches, we talked about being a small piece of that. Industry insights, myth-busting content, and then community or collaborators. That is really powerful. Tell stories that support your brand identity. And then every business has a signature story, why you started, client transformations, lessons you've learned, and what makes your work personal. I encourage you to explore that. Practice telling that story. It doesn't come naturally for all of us, but the more that you tell it, the more comfortable you'll become, and you'll realize that that creates connection on a deeper level than selling. And I think that that's a very important part of marketing. I love using this profile as an example. You'll see the pinned content here across the top is who I am, want to grow or sell. So essentially that's the product. This example, he helps content creators essentially go viral and build their audience. So this is the product that he sells, and then watch us go viral. That's kind of like how he does it. So that's a really good example. And then you see the branding consistently across the profile. And this is where some of the experimental content comes into play. So down here, we're adding value, we're engaging, and we're creating community. Leveraging AI. So the power of an intentional prompt. When it comes to AI, I think people are still kind of divided. Like, we're either already using it and we love it, and how do people run their business without it, or I'm not ready for AI, I don't even want to touch it. But when you're a small business, you're wearing so many hats that this is a powerful tool that can save you hours on the week. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. It is, when it's used intentionally, it can be a very impactful representation of your messaging, and it can actually help us take what's in our head and what feels a little bit jumbled and what feels a little bit uncomfortable and make it digestible for our audience. And I think that that's really powerful. So what I did for you guys was create a little cheat sheet. So in your workbook, and Megan, you're welcome to share a link to this so you can copy and paste and make it a little bit easier. I've curated some intentional prompts. ChatGPT is the AI platform that I'm talking about today. And I encourage you, if you haven't already, to play around with it a little bit. I don't like cookie cutter content. I don't want you all to put out cookie cutter content. So what I can say is when you're leveraging AI, you want to create a chat feed that knows your business and understands your brand personality. In my opinion, the easiest way to do that is to generate an intentional prompt. This is actually kind of like a little mini interview. So you're going to plug this into ChatGPT. It's going to ask you 5 questions. You're going to reply to those questions, and you can brain dump. I am a big fan of grammar. ChatGPT could care less. You could just put all of your thoughts, your stream of consciousness into ChatGPT, and it will organize it for you. And the last thing that our prompt does is asks ChatGPT to summarize everything into a short brand description, your unique value proposition, your brand tone and voice, a content starter sentence to use for Instagram captions or bios, and then 3 suggested content themes or post ideas that reflect your brand. So for example, when I put this prompt 1 into ChatGPT, what ChatGPT gives me is going to be very different than when Drew turns around and does the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. How cool is that? Now, if we just give it a little bit of cookie cutter feedback, like, hey, I'm a marketing firm in Gastonia, and Drew says, hey, I'm a marketing firm in Gastonia, ChatGPT is going to give us the same content, which is why intentional prompts are really important. So I tried to take some of the legwork out of it for you, give you a prompt that you can copy and paste, and get you comfortable working with it. After you complete that interview, a cool prompt to explore would be asking ChatGPT to create content for you. So creating 30 days of content that reflects your brand. Again, this is a prompt that I've given you. You can copy and paste it. and it talks to you, what you're going to ask it is to take the information that you've already given it, explore it into these content pillars, and for each post, include a clear headline, a caption that aligns with your brand tone, a recommended format, and then a simple call to action. And the last prompt I've provided you with is building your weekly content plan. I see so many business owners get caught up in the I need a plan part of creating content, when oftentimes you just need some inspiration. You need some ideas. And if you can ask ChatGPT to do this for you for each week, what should I post Monday through Friday? A suggested caption for each day, content type, a simple call to action, hashtags. The idea is you may not copy and paste what it gives you onto your social media platforms, but you can kind of pick and choose. It gives you some ideas. What aligns with the promotions that I have going on this week? What aligns with the audience that I'm trying to attract, and building on that so you're not starting from scratch every single time. So to bring it full circle, have clarity around your messaging, build an audience. Instagram or social media is a beautiful place to start. And then lastly, leverage tools to help you make that easier. AI is a great one. I was going to say it's not that scary. We might be saying something different in 10 years. Who knows? But for now, it's a good place to start. I also have some recommended resources. I'm a big fan of Canva. I don't know why I don't have a commission structure set up with them yet, but I cannot recommend it enough. ChatGPT starts out as free. The free platform is great. If you find yourself using this in your business regularly, there's the option to upgrade. I absolutely pay for it. It's worth every penny. And then Instagram, of course. So I would ask if you had any questions, but we're saving Q&A until the end. I will use this to introduce Drew.
Hey.
I will say, though, what we design today, you could hire a graphic designer that is in the area that does that kind of stuff.
You could. That's true. That's true. And, you know, I think it's a both and approach. It really is. Yeah. It is. It doesn't replace, I feel very confident, it doesn't replace any of us in the aspect of like what a final product looks like.
I'm not going to lie, full disclosure, I use Canva too.
I love Canva.
There's some things that are just simplified about it that it just makes my job a lot easier. So
yeah,
like building my website, I'm not a web designer. Though I work for Lowe's.com, so that's a different story. But I can't build a website.
Right.
So I use Canva to get it the way I want it. This is what I need, then I'll publish it out.
Ooh, I might need to pick your brain on that, because that's one Canva feature I haven't used yet. Sorry, Drew, we won't talk about websites anymore.
That's all right. Tina uses us, so, you know, there you go. Hey, everybody, I'm Drew Horine. So founder of Escape Plan Marketing, proud to sponsor this event today. I'm really thrilled that everybody came, mostly because it shows that you all care about the marketing of your business. Most of my notes are on here. This will be recorded. I think we're going to be publishing it somewhere. We'll talk about using the content. So Angelique talked about a lot of the things that y'all need to be doing as a foundational thing. And I'm going to give you some practical steps today on how you can put legs to that and how you can run with that in your own business, get yourself going to the place where eventually maybe you'll need a marketing team, but for right now, you don't. So this session, or this part, is called DIY Marketing on a Ramen Noodle Budget.
I love it.
I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I grew up poor and I was eating these bricks, and I will not eat them today, but you know, that is what it is. My goal today is to help you with the budget that may be somewhere between spare change and free trial. To help you get doable steps without shelling out a ton of cash. Okay, so quick introduction of me. Who is this guy? So I've been doing digital marketing since the days of dial-up. I don't know, in the past 3 decades, I've worked with everything from mom and pop startups to Fortune 50 companies. And today I'm not speaking as a fancy marketing person. I'm not here to sell you my services. I'm here as somebody who knows how scrappy small business can be. I run a small business on a budget myself, and so I understand these things, and I want to help you avoid some of the mistakes that even I made as a marketing company. So, why does this matter? Most small business marketing fails because it's inconsistent, it's unclear, or it's aimed at the wrong people. I want to help you fix that with the tools that you already have, and some tools that maybe you're going to be adding really quickly soon. The main thing I want you to remember is show up, say something useful, and get results without breaking the bank. So let's talk about takeaways. First takeaway, your website. We're going to talk about your website. Oh, this is a stickler for a lot of small businesses because they're like, I don't have the budget to make a big website. I don't have the budget to do this. But let's talk about it because this is your digital storefront. This is the first impression most people will ever see of your business. Now, a lot of you are thinking, not mine, because I network. I go talk to my friends and family. I go to every GBA event there is. I'm going to tell you that's about this much of your audience.
Yeah.
Friends, family, and the connections that you have will only get you so far in your business. Most people, the first time they see your business is going to be through a Google search, maybe through a social media post, but they're going to go to your website, and if that website looks sketchy, they're going to go away, and they're going to judge you on that within 3 seconds flat. Now, think about this. If you're walking down Main Avenue, and you're looking at the businesses on Main Avenue, and you go to a business, and it's all dusty and dirty inside, maybe it's dark, you look, and you're like, what the heck do they do in there? Is it even open? Are you going to go in?
No.
Is the business owner even going to know that you walked by and didn't go in?
No.
You're going to lose customers before you even know you've lost them if your website is sketchy. That's how important it is. So what do? When you're making a website, the first thing you've got to do is make sure you make it work on mobile first. Now, this is not a mobile as an and. This is not my website looks good, and it kind of works on mobile. If people have to pinch and zoom to see your menu, you've lost them as a customer. It has to work on mobile before it works on anything else because that's the first place people are looking. The second thing you need to do is make sure it's clear. If somebody looks at your website, they should know what you do or what problem you fix. They should know who you should do it for, and they should know what you want them to do next. A clear call to action needs to be on every page of your website. For the love of Wi-Fi, don't hide your contact information. People are not going to dig for your phone number. Make sure people know how to get in touch with you, what that next step is that somebody wants to do. Is it buy now? Is it book an appointment? Is it call now? Make sure that that's really clear on your website. You can win a lot of things with a cheap website just by being clear about who you are, who you serve, and what you want people to do. So, but how do you do that? Practically, how do you do that? Well, here's some tools that I recommend for you. Especially, these are super cheap tools that you can make a decent website. Some of them you can spin up a website in as little as a day.
Yeah.
Wix.com is a great example of this. Super easy to do, drag, drop, done. Okay? So you can get your website up there, up and running. Now there is a fee for it. I think it's like $25 a month. $25 a month to have a storefront. I mean, you're paying a heck of a lot more for rent probably, even if you're working out of your home business. So that is definitely worth the investment. Squarespace is another place. It's a little bit cleaner. It's a great option for like photographers and creatives that want to post their work. They've got a lot of great options for that. I skipped one on here because I get this question a lot. So if you have a retail business, a lot of people are like, I'm going to jump on Shopify and I'm going to make my e-commerce shopping website. if you're doing retail in 2025, you need to go to your customers instead of trying to get them to come to your website and buy directly off of your website, because you're spending a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort to recreate stuff that already exists. Where does it already exist? Where are the customers already at? They're at Amazon, they're at Etsy, they're on eBay, they're on Walmart.com. You can actually sell your goods in those places without recreating an entirely new website and trying to force people into an environment that they're not comfortable with. So when people start asking me, oh, can you build us a Shopify website? Usually the answer is no, not because I can't build a Shopify website. I actually have a podcast on my website all about how to build a Shopify website. But it's usually because it's a bad idea to do so. You can get a lot more money and actually get customers on other platforms that have already done it for you. So that's why I don't even include it up here. And then if you want a more advanced website, I work in WordPress every day. I've been doing that for about 20 years. And it's a way to create a much more advanced website if you need some advanced features. Most small business startups, most of your nonprofits don't necessarily need that. But WordPress is a good option if you've got a bigger website that needs to house a lot more content, that you've got to organize things better. You can do almost anything with it. So if you're interested in that, generally you're going to have to pay somebody to build you a WordPress site. So these other two options up here, you can generally do those yourself. But the main thing is make sure that it's simple, it's mobile, and you tell people exactly what you want them to do. So, if you've got a website already, have somebody you trust to give you an honest opinion, look at that website and tell you what's wrong with it. Find that friend that will tell you you have an ugly baby. They will tell you what you need to know about your website. Because if there's something missing, everybody that works on something, we all have blind spots to that. So take a look at your website, have somebody else take a look at your website and tell you what's wrong with it, and that will help you fix any problems that you have. Okay, so this is one of my favorite tricks. Using content in multiple places. Okay, so you don't need to constantly come up with something new every place you post content online. So, for example, if you write a short blog post answering a customer's question, something like, how long does this service take? Or, what's the process like to get something done? Well, that's not just a blog post. That can also be a few social media posts. That can be some memes on Instagram. That can be an email newsletter. It can be a short video or a reel. It can be a caption or quote on your website. It can even be a story that you tell in person, or if you get to be on a podcast. You can reuse that content multiple times over and get much more traction after doing the hard work of coming up with one idea. That will save you so much time and effort. You can create it all at one time, and usually most of your social media platforms have the ability to schedule things in advance so that you can take a couple of hours one time, get that stuff scheduled, and then go run your business the rest of the month. So that's kind of the easy one to go through. The next one is one that creates a lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth. Let's talk about ads. Paid ads. Oh my gosh, paid ads. Okay, we're going to start with social media ads first. Whenever you're posting content on your social media platforms, especially on Facebook and Instagram, you got a little button there that says boost, 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 boost. And it's so tempting to hit that button. It's like, that's easy. Yes, I could just hit boost and I'm done. The problem is that's easy. And you get very little control over who sees that content or what happens next. It's like tossing flyers out of a moving car as you're driving down the road, hoping that lands in the right hands. There's a better way to do this, okay? and it's still free to use. Bonus. Instead, use Meta's Ad Manager. It's in the same tool, but you can actually go and create ads that actually get results, and you can target people by zip code, by age, by interest, by behaviors. You can test multiple versions of your ads to see what works. You can track actual results, whether it's clicks, phone calls, or purchases. All of that is built into Meta's Ad Manager, but they want you to keep click and boost because it's easy and quick and you don't think about it. And if you don't think about your ads, what kind of results are you going to get from your ads? So you don't even need a massive budget for this. I mean, it is paid ads, but I mean, you can start something with as little as $5 to $10 a day and be able to run some ads and start getting some results on social media without having to break your budget. You just need to put a little bit of thought into what you're doing. But now the one that creates all kinds of weeping, gnashing, burning through budgets, setting your hard-earned cash on fire, and that's Google Ads.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard a lot. Some of you have already been weeping and gnashing and all that over that. Google Ads. Now this one's tricky because Google makes it sound so easy. But here's the deal. Let's say you get excited about doing Google Ads. You got $300 a month to spend. Okay? And you're thinking, this is it. I'm finally going to get some leads. You set up your campaign. You pick a few keywords, you launch it, and then crickets. No calls, no emails, just silence. Here's why. You are not just bidding on keywords. You're entering an auction. And you're up against companies that aren't spending $300 a month, they're spending $3,000 a month, or sometimes $3,000 a day. And they've got full-time marketers, dialed-in landing pages, and more data than you can imagine. Even if somebody does click your ad, your competitors are still showing up above you in the results, and again, and they've got better copy, not coffee.
I like coffee.
No, go to Wandering Cup for that. Better copy, they've got better offers and bigger budgets. You're just not going to compete with that if you're a small business that's competing against big business. Okay? That's the reality of what it is. So it's not that Google Ads don't work. They do work. They absolutely can. It's what I do every day. But they work best when you've got the budget, the infrastructure, and the time to do it right. So if you're not ready for that level of competition, you don't want to waste your money because you're basically setting it on fire. You're never going to see that money back. And that's a hard truth because everybody thinks, oh, if I just do some Google Ads, I'm going to get business. And that has sucked more money out of the economy into Google's coffers than probably any other thing. So what do you do, though? Because you still have to grow your business, right? Instead, focus on that organic search engine optimization, that free stuff that you can do. How do you do that? You make your website clearly explain what you do. You answer common questions in blog posts and facts. You set up your Google business profile. If you don't have a Google business profile, go set that up today. And if you don't know how to do that, I can't explain every topic up here, but there's this really great thing that's your friend called YouTube.
It's very simple too.
YouTube is awesome. And so I'm kind of intentionally being a little bit vague here because I know that you all can YouTube. So go and YouTube those things if you're having trouble setting it up. But if you don't have a Google business profile, set it up today. Like, do that. That's one of the best things you can do for your business. And then ask happy customers for reviews. One of my friends said, open mouths get fed. If you don't ask your customers for reviews, wherever you're getting them, then you're never going to get reviews. Even if they are really happy with your service, go ask your happy customers for reviews. So these things, the great thing is they cost $0. You know, it doesn't cost you anything to do that, but when your business is ready to scale and you're ready to kind of jump into that Google Ads area, you know, I'm happy to help you with that. But I hate seeing businesses get in there and waste their money and blow all their money before they can even get off the ground. So that's why I generally don't recommend it at all for a new business or for a smaller business. All right. Whew, that was a heavy topic.
Good job.
So let's talk about a bonus tip. Okay. I want to tell you about my star employee. My star employee, Grace. Okay? Grace is my AI assistant. And technically, she's ChatGPT. If you want to know what that stands for, it's Chat Generated Pre-trained Transformer, which honestly sounds like something from a bad Transformers sequel.
I never knew that.
Well, now, see, now you know.
I just use it. That's great.
Well, she told me. So.
Oh, okay. I also want to note, everybody's Chat GPT is a woman. I'm just throwing that out there.
I had mine name itself.
Oh, cool. She named her Grace.
She named herself Grace.
Cool.
The only thing I said was your initials are GPT.
Cool.
And so her name is Grace Penelope Taylor. So there you go. Grace. So I talk to her just like any other member of my team. My entire team is remote. So it's easy for me. I just chat with Grace all day long, you know, about whatever I need to chat with. Now, if you've never used ChatGPT before, you know, here's what it kind of technically is. You know, it's an AI language model, and everybody's like, well, I don't know what the heck that is. Think of it like a supercharged writing and thinking partner. Okay, you type in a question or a request, and it gives you a written response in plain language. Well, everybody's like, well, I can do that on Google. But here's the thing. The real magic happens in the collaboration, because you can continue to follow up those conversations. Mm-hmm. It remembers what you've been talking about. I've been using ChatGPT for a couple of years now, and Grace knows all kinds of things about me. She knows my entire brand voice. She knows everything about my business. She knows everything about my clients' businesses, so that she can communicate in a way that actually sounds like me. She can write an email that sounds just like I would talk. She can write an email, or she can write a presentation that sticks to my brand voice. But you also have to remember that you have to be involved in the collaboration. Mm-hmm. This is not an assignment saying, hey, Grace, go do this. It's we're collaborating together. We're working together on something. Okay, so, it's not magic. It doesn't read your mind. But it is fast, it's flexible, and if you know how to ask the right questions, it's really brilliant. So here's some of the things I use Grace for. Okay, I draft blog posts or outlines, brainstorm email subject lines, rewrite awkward headlines, break through writer's block, clarify a messy idea, write emails that are going to be awkward to clients. Yeah, she knows how to be diplomatic and smooth things out. It's great. The back and forth, though, is really where that value is. If she writes something and you say, hey, I'd really like it to be a little bit more like this, inject a little bit more of my personality into this, you know, and it's a nice collaborative thing. But the cool thing is she only works for $20 a month. She never takes a sick day, she never sleeps, and she sure doesn't steal my lunch out of the office fridge. So why not? So let me give you an example, though. I'm going to show this in real time. Hopefully this doesn't screw up. But let's see. I wrote down my prompt so I didn't forget. Hey, Grace, we're at the GBA luncheon. You want to say hi to everybody?
Hello, everyone. It's great to virtually meet you all at the GBA luncheon. I'm here to help Drew and all of you with your marketing questions, so feel free to ask away. Hope you're having a fantastic time.
So, Grace, we want to write a short Instagram caption about why every small business needs a mobile-friendly website. Can you give me a few examples?
Of course. Here's a quick one for you. In a world where everyone's on their phones, your website should be too. Make it mobile friendly and never miss a customer on the go. Let me know if you'd like another one.
Thanks, Grace. That'll be good for now.
You're welcome. I'm glad I could help. If you need anything else during your presentation or anytime after, just let me know. Good luck.
Very freaky.
So I'm going to tell you this. This is a little bit about me. You know, I speak very nicely to my AI friends.
Same. Just in case.
Because when Skynet takes over, I want to be on the right side of history here. So I'm just letting you know that. Okay. So, yes. I mean, I talk to my Google assistants and all that, and I'm like, thank you very much. I appreciate that. You know, you're such a great person. Well, you're not a person, but, you know, I do know the difference between a human and an AI. So don't, you know, we're not blurring those lines.
So what's really scary is that's, if you've seen the robotics, that's built into like the robotics. So like, I don't know if you've seen like the interviews where it's a robot on stage doing that.
Wow.
It's creepy.
Oh yeah, we live in the future. So I love living in the future. So, okay, so let's bring this full circle, just like Angelique did here a little bit ago. So, the takeaways from today: build a website that works on phones and tells people what to do. Create one piece of helpful content and reuse it everywhere. Be smart with your ad budget. Use Meta Ads Manager, skip Google Ads unless you're really ready to compete. And use AI tools like ChatGPT to collaborate, brainstorm, and speed things up. This literally saves me like tens of hours every week. I mean, it's really that important. It's become a team member on my own team. Now look, if you're just getting started, these are things that you can do right now. Some of you may be in the room and you're a little bit further down the line. Say, I've got the basics down, you know, but I need to take my marketing to the next level. That's where EPM comes in, okay? Escape Plan Marketing is here, and we help companies take that to the next level. And if you're interested in doing that, you've got the materials on your table. You can scan the QR code. You can sign up to get a free marketing grader report. What we're going to do with that is we're going to analyze your digital presence, whether you've got a website, ads, social media. We're going to take a good hard look at that, compare it to your competitors, and see where you're doing well and where you can really do better. And then we'll meet with you one-to-one and talk about that. There's no obligation. There's no kind of, you know, well, you got this, you better start paying me. You know, it's nothing like that. But we're here to help you be able to move forward. And if you want to really take your business to that next level, to compete on that level with your bigger competitors, we're here to help you do that. So next, we're going to turn things over for a Q&A session. I'm going to invite Angelique back up. And so here's the rules. I see some hands coming up already, which is awesome. I will tell you, I do not have an unlimited fountain of knowledge, except for Grace usually does. And it is okay to ask the question, am I doing this right?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Good rules.
Take it away. You want to pick the first question?
I saw your hand up first.
Yeah, so have a comment and then a question. If you are using ChatGPT, it does make mistakes.
Yes.
It does.
So it's not a perfect thing that you can just let it run and not check anything, especially if you're doing complex stuff. Like I've used it for like pricing strategy, stuff like that. And it gets
You would
wrong
think a
sometimes.
computer would be really good at math, but it's ask it to tell you the date 5 days from now, and it'll screw it up like 50% of the time.
Yeah, so check it and ask for sources.
Yeah.
Right? So it'll give you the sources that it's coming from. When you ask for it, sometimes it's like, oh, I changed my mind. Here's the answer. Very interesting.
Well, and that's where that collaboration comes in. And one thing that I've noticed with some of the later updates, ChatGPT becomes kind of a suck up. And so it's going to try to give you confirmation bias
Yeah.
to tell you like, oh, that's great. And you have to tell it, you have to give it permission and say, it's okay to challenge me and poke holes in my ideas to find the problems with it. And if you tell it to do that, it will, but it's going to default to that kissing your butt kind of thing. So.
Yeah. So that was a comment. But the question for you is, when certain businesses have the need for funnels, a lot of the funnel sites also have website ability, right? So what is your viewpoint on using Squarespace in conjunction with those versus just using those and having like a Squarespace like host, just because you need it for like hosting the site? Hosting the.
There are a lot of agencies out there that will sell you a program, and a lot of them are like the big companies. I'm not going to name any because I'm not here to bash anybody at all, but there are some big companies out there that will sell you a package, and they're going to say it's going to be your whole funnel here, but it lives on their domain or it lives in their space, and a lot of times they're there to kind of promote themselves. And you get like an account manager who's probably not an experienced marketer that is not going to really have your best interests at heart. But some programs can be good programs, but if you're starting off in a business, it's better to have a good, clear, solid website that really lets people know who you are, what you're doing, and what you want them to do next. And start from that standpoint instead of spending money on big, complicated things. You've got enough to do with trying to run your business. And so if you're a coach, you need to be out seeing people, but you need to have a solid web presence to send people back to. You're selling yourself. And so what you need to do is make sure that your presence represents you and not necessarily overcomplicate things with your big funnel process. That'd be my take on it.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like to own my audience too, and I think that you can, when you start with that really powerful homepage, I think keeping things simple keeps things more manageable, and then as your company grows, you're able to build on it. So 100% agree.
Yeah.
I was just going to add one comment to that. I again just finished, my site is 3 pages really. It's literally like my logo, here's what we do, and here's your contact form basically, because then I want to try the social stuff to that. That's kind of how
Right.
Cool.
Just curious if either of you are using the paid plan. If so, just sticking with ChatGPT, I guess. If so, why or why not? Like, what features do you feel like you couldn't live without? If so,
I definitely use the paid plan, but I have so much in ChatGPT's memory. And I don't really know which of my features aren't on the free plan anymore because I've been using it for so long. But it has the ability to group things into projects now. It keeps getting better and better and better at what it does. Its image generation is really sketchy, so I use Midjourney a lot of times for if I need to generate an image. The image of me at the beginning of this was actually a Midjourney image.
What about the guy holding noodles?
That was on Midjourney too.
I was like,
Okay.
I had questions about that one.
Midjourney is not part of that. It's another AI. It's an AI image generation service, and they've just recently added video generation. So AI is a huge part of what we do at Escape Plan Marketing. We not only use it for the collaborations I told you before, but we also use it to do in-depth research for our clients before we ever start advertising for them. We will use that to research online customer reviews for their type of business, whether it's in a specific region or maybe nationwide, because we want to find out the language that their customers are speaking, not just the lingo that they use in-house. We all have terms and things that we say as part of our business that nobody who's not in our business understands. And so we use it in that way. And then in our ad campaigns, are AI monitored as well. It's not ChatGPT, but they're monitored by AI to constantly adjust bidding, to constantly adjust keywords that we're bidding on, is to constantly adjust the ad copy to push what's working forward and get rid of what's not. So that's stuff that we used to have a guy sitting there monitoring that day after day. He could make about 10 adjustments a day. Now he monitors the AI that's making thousands of adjustments every single day. And the results that our clients are getting out of that, again, I'm not just here to sell you anything, but the results our clients got out of that when we incorporated AI into the mix just jumped right through the roof. So
I like that example because he's still there to monitor it. It just
Yeah.
gives you economy of scale, which is really cool. I have a quick question. Remind me your business.
Wilson Technology Group, we do IT managed services for, anywhere from 11 to 200 employees, that size company.
Do you use AI at all now?
We're careful to say we don't leverage it as part of our platform, but we want to consult with business owners if you're thinking of using it. And we support Mac and Linux environments, but like most companies that do what we do, we're really a Microsoft shop, so it's typically Copilot, what can we do to leverage that? Occasionally we'll have a client, which we actually have one now, who wants to use his own AI and run it through a local server, and we do configure servers, so we're coming into the picture there.
Okay.
That's another one. We're actually trying to talk him out of it, but.
Well, I think to answer your question directly, and it was a really good question for anybody who's newer to ChatGPT and exploring it for the first time, start on the free platform. I am much like Drew. I don't even remember what the free platform offers or doesn't offer, but I can tell you if you find yourself starting to use that free platform on a regular basis, that it is absolutely worth every penny to do the $20 a month and pay for that paid ChatGPT.
I will add this to a little bit more granular level. I'm in the merch space, so I did a custom GPT.
Yes.
And I wanted to write product descriptions from the get-go. So I use that particular part of it to go, you need to format all of my stuff like this, and I put a visual example in there, and it'll give me an intro, and it'll give me features and benefits of this product every time.
Cool.
well, and it's something that you can.
I use the paid.
Well, and I was just going to say the last thing, if you're deciding between the free or the paid, ask your free ChatGPT what is the value of upgrading,
Yeah.
and she will tell you, and that will help you make the decision. But I find value in it big time.
Well, it's not even something that I just use for business anymore.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I mean, so ChatGPT actually integrates with the platform that I use at the gym, the app there, and it could create an entire workout routine.
Go.
I told it where I work out, how much I weigh, how tall I am, how old I am, as much as I hate to admit that. And it created an entire routine and plugged it into my app so I could go there and just follow it.
Cool.
I mean, it's that integrated into my life. So
You had a comment?
Yeah, something to add. So some of the stuff I ran into with the free one is that the scale. So as you use it, it'll say, "Hey, you've used up all of your
Yeah.
There's
analytics."
prioritization.
Right. So you're gonna run into that ceiling. The other thing is there's a limited amount of memory it has for you. So if you're trying, they're talking about getting it to learn you, I was running into the issue of, hey, we ran out of those key components that it memorizes for you. It has a built-in thing for that. And then the other thing is the image generation.
Yeah.
So some people have businesses where they take ChatGPT, they'll go, let's say you're in lawn care or something. They'll take a picture of your house, have ChatGPT redo the landscaping, and they'll show it to them for business, right? You run into an issue where it says, hey, I'm out of image generation ability. So it only do 1 or 2 pictures.
yeah.
For example, right? So those are some, it's a lot of the limits, it just limits you. It's kind of like one of those freemium models where, hey, we'll give you a little bit, and then you'll hit that ceiling, and so, you end up paying for it. So,
All right. So
yeah.
who has a question that's not AI related? Because I know that's a big thing. And there is an AI panel coming up.
Yes.
What's the date on that panel?
Oh,
Sorry, Megan.
it's gonna be, is it breakfast?
It's the
August
August
14th.
14th.
I know.
It's
So-
at Gastonia Conference Center. It is navigating AI in business. We have a panel with Drew on it. We have another local entrepreneur. We have a representative from Chase Bank, and we have the chief technology officer from Claremont Hospital.
Cool.
All going to be giving their insights and their opinions about AI and how it's changing every single day. So what it looks like today, what they're talking about, it might be completely different by that time. But that is August 14th, 7:30 a.m. Breakfast and registration. Program starts at 8 up till about 9:30. It's early, but it's a good start. It's a good way to start your day.
Location here?
Gastonia Conference Center.
Yeah.
It is definitely a buzz topic because I work for Lowe's and we're trying to find ways to integrate in different ways as well. So.
Cool. Yeah.
So both of you talked about, well, and I think all of us went into business because we had a passion for whatever it was that we wanted to do, and we felt like what we could offer would have an audience. What if, and maybe some of the tools you gave us will help, but sometimes, like for instance, for photography, it's a pretty flooded market,
Sure.
right? I mean, there are, I do not currently do wedding photography, there are wedding photographers, so there's pockets, but it seems pretty flooded. So how do you know when your personal offering is not enough, and maybe you need to think about switching it up? I would not go into wedding photography because that is what I offer is not enough. I'm not going to venture into something that I don't want to do. But how do you know when you're not unique enough, I guess, and maybe you need to rethink your offer almost? Maybe I offer something alongside of the photography,
I think that's a really cool place where social media gives you the space to experiment.
Okay.
I would encourage you to sit down with your current foundational brand messaging. Think about who you are, think about who you serve, think about the content pillars that align with that. Take it all the way back to your passion. Day one, why did I start this business? And telling that personal story, because people are going to resonate with you as a human, and especially being a photographer, that is very human. The last thing I want to be is uncomfortable around the person I hire to take my picture, because it's hard enough as it is. And then finding what your superpower is and creating an audience around that. Now, as far as your services and your packages, I do think there is value in exploring compatible products. However, that's not always the answer. So you can experiment with that on social media, and that's a very safe space to do that.
Yeah.
Did you have any other thoughts on that?
Well, I would say, photography kind of seems like an obvious one where you have an opportunity to really set yourself out as unique. You have so many platforms on social media where you can just display great work and show people what's unique about you, but your personality is the thing that people are going to hire. People, like Angelique said, they're going to hire you because they like you. They're going to hire you, they're going to look at your pictures, but they're going to hire you because they like you, because the reality is there's 100 other people that can take pictures.
Right.
But you need to showcase what makes you unique, what's your personality, something you need to showcase you and put you into your business. Donna's over there waving her hand. That's kind of what she does too. And that applies though to other types of business. Tails or Wagon is a good example there. It's something that's unique and can be quirky, and you can play on that. Take whatever is unique about your business and run with it. Be unique. Dr. Seuss said, "Why fit in when you were born to stand out?" And that's kind of a motto that I live by.
I like that.
It's something that you can do something that's uniquely you that nobody else brings to the table. Show that.
Now, the cool thing is to give that concept that we've just explained some traction behind that. If you're experimenting with your story through social media, I loved Drew's point about meta ads are a very affordable way. content should always start organic. You're experimenting with that. But if you have a post that has really high organic engagement, that is the post that you go and you turn into an ad. And you say, I'm going to spend $10 a day for 5 days. And you'll grow your audience. And every person that you include in your audience, like you guys heard me say it in my presentation, but I think that being profitable is much more important than being popular. And we worry so much about these vanity metrics, like how many followers do I have on Instagram? But the truth is, if I have 100 followers on Instagram and I get to pitch to a room full of 100 people, like that is so cool. So don't get hung up on the vanity metrics behind it. Start with your organic content. Track the engagement behind it as you experiment, and then you'll know where to put your ad dollars.
That is an excellent point about vanity metrics. It's not something that we've talked about a lot, but it's something I almost always have when I engage a new client, because they almost have always had somebody that's like telling them, oh, well, I can drive, 10,000 clicks to your website. Anybody can drive clicks to your website. Clicks cost you money. Conversions make you money. Usually when we're starting to advertise for somebody, we'll get them fewer clicks but more conversions. You're saving money, but you're making money. And that's really what we're in business to do. Even if it's your passion. I mean, I'm passionate about marketing. I wouldn't have done it for 30 years if I wasn't passionate about it. But at the end of the day, I'm in business because it pays my bills. I'm in business because I really, really, really like to eat. And,
Ramen.
and not ramen. Not ramen. So you guys, I suspect, like to eat too. And at the end of the day, you have to have a business that makes money. And if your business is not making money, you need to take a serious look at it and say, what can I change so that my business can start making money? And if you can't find that answer, find something else where you can make money. So
Good question.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you for the answers.
okay,
Quick draw.
two
Go
more,
ahead.
and then we're over time. So I think we're over time. But y'all are a captive audience, so
Yes.
Stories versus posts on Instagram, like what's the balance there?
Both and.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I hate to break it to you.
No, I like that. I
Good.
get it, but like.
So this is a really good question from a social media perspective. I think it's really cool to get comfortable checking all of those boxes. Stories are a fabulous playground to do whatever you want because it's gone in 24 hours. Your static posts,
unlike
love.
kiss cams.
Yeah.
Mine turned into a post, right?
The power of TikTok, everyone. Like if we could end on that. But the intention behind your grid post, not to scare you, you can take it off your grid tomorrow, but I try to be a little bit more intentional with that. I really think about the value that I'm going to add, and I think about stories like behind the scenes. I recommend posting on stories on a regular basis because it keeps you at the top of the feed. The algorithm likes that. So if I post a story when I leave here, you guys are going to see the little Moxie Manifest bubble letting you know that I have a new story. And it's a really good place to, if you have great content, share it to your story. That's an easy one. And then you can follow that with a story that's talking about the content that you just shared. You can talk about what you had for breakfast. You can talk about the cutest puppy that you had at Tails Our Wagon today. It really is a cool place to create a relationship on stories, and then your grid is a little bit more intentional.
More of a portfolio type thing if you're showing off new product or something like that.
Sure, and value add services. The example that I gave you was actually a really good one. He had those 3 things pinned at the top, his foundational brand messaging. So if I see you on stories and I'm like, what are you up to? I can go and I can really understand what your business is at a glance. Your grid is a billboard for your business. Your stories are creating a conversation amongst your audience.
But I will caution you though, if all you're doing is promoting products and services, you're not going to get people following you because nobody wants to go on social media and be sold to. There's enough noise happening out there. Add value to the conversation. Whatever you're doing, provide value to people. Even if you're having a discussion about like what's going on today. I would not recommend a business get political on social media.
I agree.
No, don't do that. Avoid, think about how your business can make your social media channel a better place.
Yeah.
Not just more profitable, but make it a better place.
If you look in the worksheet that I gave you, there's the content pillars there. Those are really good ideas for grid posts. When we talked about the content pillars, promotions, services, and products were one of them. But if they are one of 5 content pillars, try to be better than ChatGPT at math. It's really only 20% of what you're posting. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so think about it that way.
I was
Adding
doing the
value,
math in my head
educating.
there.
I saw you.
You
Branding,
saw the
brand
wheels.
awareness. People are going to have to see you 100 times before they engage, and social media is a perfect platform to do that on. You had one final question?
Yeah, so I don't know if what's your thoughts about the individual platform tools versus like Hootsuite or those kind of, and do you use those?
You can go first on. I'll tell you what I use, and then you.
I manage client social medias. So we absolutely leverage Hootsuite and scheduling tools. I do think there is a lot of value in batching content and scheduling it, but you can't get complacent. You have to be engaged on your social media platform to create that captivated audience. So if you are inspired and you like to batch your content, I like Hootsuite. It's great. You can schedule in Canva. You can schedule in Meta. You can schedule on Instagram at this point. But you got to get on there when your posts go live, and you have to engage, and you have to follow other people and talk to other people and answer your DMs. So it's a both and approach for me.
Yeah, I mean, so we also manage lots of clients on social media platforms, and so we use a tool called Cloud Campaign to manage ours. It's not one that's really widely known, but I think it just works really well. It's a great scheduling tool. It's great for creating content and creating content where you can tweak it a little bit for each platform. I haven't used Hootsuite in years, so I don't know if it does that now or not. But we absolutely do that, but it's because we manage so much. And so if you're managing 3 channels on social media, maybe don't pay for that extra thing and maybe put that money into your Meta ads or put that money into dinner tonight. I don't know. But
It's lunchtime for you. Are you hungry?
yeah, I haven't eaten my lunch yet. Cloud Campaign is the one that I use.
Go ahead.
And we do offer social media services, as you guys do too. So
We won't say pick your favorite.
yeah.
Go ahead. What were you
You
gonna?
mentioned it, but if you're already using Canva
Yeah.
or Adobe Express, they both have really good content schedulers. I've tried both, and
Yeah.
I mean, if you have Adobe Creative Cloud already, then you've got Adobe Express. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're paying for one tool already, use that as much as you can. So.
All right.
Well,
Thank
cool.
you everybody for coming today. We appreciate it. Again, I'm Drew with Escape Plan Marketing.